So this might be a little bit redundant, but I think sometimes going back over something that you've learned about before can be useful. And so when the subject of having people on your team and how to delegate and how to be with them on the journey after you've delegated comes up, this graphic is what I always think about. And I want to tell you that if you want to learn more about this, if you were to read Situational Leadership 2, about Situational Leadership 2, SL2, the SL2 model from Ken Blanchard and company, it's really where this came from. It's just that this was my interpretation of what Blanchard communicates in that situational leadership. But that's a much deeper, better treatment of this topic. However, oftentimes understandable real world examples can help people get it. So back when I was a sales leader and a leadership team member, we engaged the Blanchard company and we learned about the SL2 model. And he talks about somebody being an enthusiastic beginner in stage 1. In stage 2, which I have here, right? So there's stage 1, I say excited learner. He said enthusiastic beginner. Stage 2, he called a disillusioned learner. Stage 3, he called capable but cautious. And in stage 4, they call that a self-reliant achiever. And as you go into their system and as you explore the Blanchard material, you'll find that they have that system set up for self-leadership, for you to think about, oh yeah, whenever I learn a new goal, skill, or task, I go through those kind of phases. And sometimes you go through it faster because you have what are called transferable skills from things you've learned before. But you always kind of go through these stages, even if the temptation to quit in stage 2, or when you're a disillusioned learner, even if it's only like a temporary thought, we go through this whenever we learn something new. An example would be, I'm quite good with computers, like all of you, right? Because we've been using them. And pretty good with the, Microsoft suite of products. And let's just say that I know how to use Word and I know how to use Excel, but I haven't used PowerPoint, right, as an example. Well, because I know how to use Word and Excel and because I use Microsoft products and because it's now pretty common that we have a graphical user interface when we move things around, I have transferable skills so that when I start doing PowerPoint, if that's a new thing for me that I haven't done, I'm going to go through the phases faster than if I had never used a computer at all. You can imagine that for somebody who has not used a computer at all, going through those phases with learning PowerPoint would be really hard. So when you're delegating to people, they're going to go through the same kind of phases that you'll go through when you learn something new. Now, you're all experimenters and, creators of intentional lives, so you put yourself in this place a lot. Some of the people that work with you, though, are not as much into experimentation. And so this can be helpful for you to know as a leader what you're going to need to give them at each stage. And that's part of what you can also get in the Blanchard material, is a deeper treatment of what you're going to give them. You're getting my interpretation. And, I think that that's helpful too when we learn from each other and when I get to share with you. So if you have somebody and they're getting started, they're going to start out stage 1. I remember teaching my daughter, Michaela, who is now 20, how to ride a bicycle. And we were living in a subdivision at the time, and there was a loop at the top of the subdivision. It was one road up, one road down on the other side, well, up or down. And at the top there was a loop, and the development was on a hill. Most of it for the up and down part. And then at the top, it was pretty flat. So all the parents went up there to teach their children how to ride a bike and spend time with them. Now, I actually know now that there's a better way to teach a kid to ride a bike than the way that I taught Michaela. So, we can become better coaches with time, and we can go Google in today's world and look at YouTube, and we can find how to teach a kid to ride a bike. And there's an optimal way to do that. And it's not necessarily what your parents did with you, because that's what we tend to do. Whatever our parents did with us, that's what we do with our kids. And if, your parents just didn't teach you, like I had a child that I just didn't teach, she just picked it up on their own. you know, you didn't have that experience. But a lot of us it's kind of monkey see, monkey do. What our parents did, that's what we did. So I got Michaela on that bicycle. She wanted to ride. She was excited. And so this made sense to me to explain it this way. She wanted to ride. She got her helmet. She's like, let's go. Gonna go ride up at the top. And, you know, I got her going and, kind of walking with her on the bicycle first. And then, of course, running to stay up with her as she's doing this thing, and then letting go. And at some point, you let go, I let go, and I catch her, and she's a little bit unsteady about that. But then at some point I don't catch her and she falls. And she fell and had not a major wreck, cause I was close enough, you know, we weren't going fast enough to have a major wreck, but had enough that little bit of a skin knee. Is like, this is stupid. I don't want to do it. I quit. Done. Don't need to ride my bike. Couldn't care less. Riding bike is stupid, whatever. And, but, you know, eventually she was ready through some encouragement, through some in the stage 2 saying, I struggled too when I learned to ride my bike. It was hard for me. It's hard for almost everybody. And the key is to keep going, right? So what happens in stage 1 when somebody's an excited learner like she was with the bike, all you have to do as the instructor is teach them what to do. And in today's world, they might go learn from your corporate videos, your video training library, how to do something. So in stage 1, they don't need any motivation or encouragement. They just need what to do and how to do it. And that's all you need to give them. And then in stage 2, though, when they fall off the bike, you got 2 problems. One is they're frustrated. They want to quit. They don't want to push through this discomfort. And they don't know what they're doing, right? Both lack of skill and they're frustrated. So as a leader in stage 2, you're going to need to both encourage them and tell those stories about how you struggled similarly and you pushed through it and other people did and it's normal. Whatever you got to do and encourage them to get back on the bike, but you still have to teach them the skills. Or in the workplace, if they're building kitchens, then and there's part of your process that is frustrating them because they did something else somewhere else, you have to encourage them and you have to show them what to do. And you have to take them back to this is how we do it. Tell me, show me, let me try, give me feedback, let me try again, right? You're still instructing. When they get to stage 3, though, that's a place where they're saying, I think I can do this, and you're ready to delegate, and you may believe they definitely can do it, but they are going to come to you and they're going to ask for reassurance. They're going to ask, am I doing this right? How was it? And you have to be prepared to spend that kind of time with them and open up your door. Now that can't go on forever because we want to get them over there to stage 4 to where I know I can, they got it, they're riding the bike. Eventually, of course, my daughter, just rides the bike and no big deal and even doing some, faster riding around the neighborhood and everything. Your people can get there too. And sometimes they're there before they know they're there. So it's transitioning from stage 3 to stage 4 is what you got to do. And in stage 4, they're highly skilled, they're confident. So now they're ready for more challenge. Now they're ready for you to, push them a little bit farther, if that's possible within that particular goal, skill, or task. But being aware of these stages, I think, can be helpful, and I wanted to share this model with you. And you can share it with your people, and some of them may have taught a kid to ride a bike, or they may have taught a kid how to tie their shoes, or maybe they remember when they went through that learning curve of riding a bike or learning how to tie his shoes and how they hit the wall and frustrated and everything. And you can also ask them questions like, hey, can you think of another area in your life where you were at a point where you wanted to quit? So I want to share that with you today. I hope that helps. 4 stages of learning to ride a bike. And again, check out Situational Leadership Work by Ken Blanchard. Thanks.